April 2nd, 2026, Paycom Center, Oklahoma City. The Los Angeles Lakers walked in riding one of the hottest stretches in the entire league, a 50-27 record, a 15-3 run since early March, and their superstar, Luka Dončić, freshly crowned the Western Conference Player of the Month. This was the matchup everyone circled. The purple and gold against the reigning champions. The ultimate litmus test for a Lakers squad completely convinced they were championship material. Then, in the span of 4 minutes, everything collapsed. By the final buzzer, the scoreboard read 139-96, a 43-point beatdown, the worst loss of the Lakers' entire season. But that scoreline was irrelevant compared to what happened in the third quarter. Luka Dončić, the man averaging a league-best 33.5 points per game, dropped to the Paycom Center floor, alone, untouched, and in absolute agony. Before halftime, Luka grabbed at his left leg. The training staff pulled him into the locker room. Head coach Redick addressed the media afterward, explaining that medical personnel cleared his superstar at the half. Redick said they looked at him, did some treatments, and gave him the green light. The plan was to play Luka and Austin Reeves for roughly 6 minutes to open the third quarter, hoping to trim the gap or pull the plug entirely. It didn't even last 4 minutes. During his final sequence of the evening, Luka executed a step-back jumper over OKC standout Jalen Williams. Nobody touched him. He suddenly froze, dropped straight to the hardwood, and writhed in total agony, instantly clutching his left thigh. He stayed on the floor for what felt like an eternity before gingerly walking off. His expression screamed tragedy. He appeared thoroughly crushed lying there, eyes welling up with tears while heading straight down the tunnel. His night ended permanently with 7 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the third quarter. His final box score, 12 points, 3 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 7 from 3, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers across 26 minutes. That entire LA locker room felt like a funeral. Forward Jake LaRavia acknowledged it was a horrifying sight for anyone sharing that jersey. LeBron James kept it blunt. At this specific stage of the calendar, watching your franchise player drop out of nowhere clutching his leg is gut-wrenching. It is the absolute worst-case scenario. The squad flew to Dallas immediately after the game. On Friday, April 3rd, the scans confirmed every nightmare Lakers fans harbored. The diagnosis, a grade 2 strain of the left leg. Not a grade 1 tweak where players return in 10 days. A grade 2 means the muscle is partially torn, demanding several long weeks of rehabilitation. NBA insider Shams Charania dropped the official update. Luka is shelved with no timetable, skipping the final 5 regular season games with his playoff availability completely up in the air. The math is brutal. Medical data from industry experts places the average recovery window for this specific injury at 35 days, projecting a hypothetical comeback around May 8th, the middle of the second round. The postseason tips off April 18th. That is just 16 days after the injury occurred. Even under the best possible circumstances, the Lakers will enter the first round of the playoffs without their leading scorer. The question that cannot be ignored: why was Luka Dončić on the floor at all? The Lakers were down 31 points at halftime. Their superstar visibly grabbed his leg before the break. Redick's justification was a 6-minute window to test a comeback. Looking back, that gamble was glaringly obvious, and it might just ruin the Lakers' entire season. There is no softer way to frame it. A franchise player with a documented injury concern was sent back onto the court in a meaningless regular season blowout 2.5 weeks before the playoffs. The consequences may define this entire era. Now, consider what is actually at risk here statistically. Luka's 2025-26 season with the Lakers is historic by any measure. 33.5 points, 8.3 assists, 7.7 rebounds, and 1.6 steals across 64 appearances. He led the entire league in scoring.
In March specifically, he averaged 37.5 points, put together 13 straight 30-point games, and delivered 7 40-point performances. He became the 10th player in NBA history to score 600 points in a single calendar month, a list that includes Wilt Chamberlain. Earlier in the season, he became the first Laker ever to open a year with back-to-back 40-point games, shattering a record previously held by Jerry West. Then he became only the second player in league history to open a season with 3 consecutive 40-point nights. On New Year's Eve, he posted 51 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, and 4 steals, becoming the first player ever to record 250 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists within a 5-game window. These are not just elite numbers, they broke the matrix. Yet all of it may mean nothing on paper because of a technicality. The NBA requires 65 games played to qualify for MVP and All-NBA consideration. Luka played exactly 64. He is one single tip-off short of the threshold. His agent, Bill Duffy of WME, released a statement immediately. Duffy made it loud and clear they will battle for his client's status. The extraordinary circumstances appeal centers on the fact that Luka's 2 missed games in December were to attend the birth of his daughter in Slovenia, and he flew back to the United States within 48 hours to rejoin the team. Duffy told reporters that Luka bent over backwards to carry this franchise and the whole league this year. The loophole that could save him requires playing at least 62 games and 85% of the schedule before suffering a season-ending injury. Luka played 64 out of 77, which calculates to 83%, 2 percentage points short. Additionally, an independent medical examiner would need to certify that Luka has 0 chance of returning before May 31st, which directly conflicts with his projected May 8th comeback window. That path is effectively closed. If the appeal is denied, Luka will become the first scoring champion to be excluded from All-NBA consideration since 1976. In the major network MVP straw polls, he ranked 4th, behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama, and Nikola Jokic, meaning the trophy was likely out of reach regardless. But the exclusion from All-NBA entirely is a separate and historically significant injustice. The injury also reopens a conversation that followed Luka from Dallas to Los Angeles. Since 2024, he suffered 5 separate hamstring incidents involving the exact same muscle group. The progression, an initial tweak, a re-aggravation 4 days later, a preseason strain in 2025, a left hamstring tear in February 2026 that cost him 4 games, and now this, a grade 2 strain of the exact same leg. The Dallas Mavericks cited chronic conditioning concerns when they orchestrated the trade in February 2025, sending Luka to LA alongside Maxi Kleber and Markieff Morris in exchange for Max Christie, Anthony Davis, and a 2029 first-round pick. Luka overhauled his body in Los Angeles, suited up for 64 out of 77 games, and led the league in scoring. Then the exact nightmare his former squad predicted suddenly became reality. His frame simply gave out at the absolute worst possible moment, albeit wearing a totally different jersey. Without Luka, the Lakers sit at 50-27, holding a 1-game edge over Denver for the 3rd seed, with the Minnesota Timberwolves just 3.5 games back. Their championship odds collapsed overnight, from 25-1 down to 150-1 across major sportsbooks. LeBron James, at 41 years old, now carries the offensive load he deliberately reduced, having averaged just 12.3 field goal attempts over the past 12 games, while shooting 54.4%. Austin Reeves, who started 22 consecutive games as the connector between Luka and LeBron, steps into a drastically elevated role. One narrow silver lining exists. The Lakers have already locked down a guaranteed playoff spot, bypassing the play-in tournament entirely. That grants Luka and the medical staff an additional 7 days of recovery before a potential first-round series begins. The singular confirmed fact is avoiding those wildcard games entirely. Thus, they gain 7 days. The front office now faces an impossible binary. protect the asset and accept an early exit, preserving Luka's long-term health, or rush a partially torn muscle back onto the playoff floor, gambling on a window that cost them Anthony Davis and a first-round pick. Torn upper leg muscles are notoriously stubborn and maddening to rehabilitate. They bounce back, they ache endlessly. For a player whose entire arsenal depends on sudden deceleration, directional changes, and explosive drives, that specific muscle group is everything. Once it snaps, your whole arsenal crumbles. The greatest individual season in Lakers franchise history may end not with a championship, but with a grade report and a calendar that simply ran out of time.
Drop thoughts in the comments, like, share, subscribe to Fast Break Daily.